Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox back for another episode, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have back with me Jeff Dwoskin. Jeff is the founder and CEO at Stampede Social. Jeff, first of all, welcome back.
It's great to be back for my 100th visit. Do I get a plaque? I feel
You
like
do. You are now the GOAT.
I'm in the 100 club. No, thanks for having me back. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you sent out an email blast this week that was really interesting, and I'm going to pull it up here. It's entitled Facebook's latest report dropped. Are you ready? And it gave some really, I think, beyond interesting, and you even say staggering numbers about content views on Facebook feeds, which were posted without external links. So I really wanted to explore that with you and see what is a social strategy that a podcaster can use with this knowledge about Facebook and organic growth.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to kind of put that in the context, there's an innate fear of every social platform that you're going to go to a different social platform. and I think I feel like they need to get over themselves, because it's not like I'm going to live on Facebook, right? I live between YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Blue Sky or Twitter or whatever. It's just the reality. There's really no reason I'm not going to not come back to Facebook. What are they worried about? So what you were talking about, this is a report that they put out for many years, and I can give you the link to put in your show notes. But what the name of the literal report put out by Meta is Widely Viewed Content Report: What People See on Facebook. So in 2021, if you put a link in your post caption, like, hey, Jeff and Tom are talking, here's the link, right? Because that's the easiest thing to do. 13%. You had a 13% of the posts that got seen had a link, which means if you didn't put that link there, your odds of being seen would have been dramatic. Now, just a few years later, that's 2%. And so it keeps going down, right? So 97 some percent of all posts that are active and get seen and get the most traction do not have comments in their posts. So now there's a couple of ways that you can kind of deal with this. Is one, you can put it in the comments, right? And so the problem with putting something in the comments is when people share it, then you get lost. So if you're a podcaster and I go, here's my Tom and Jeff episode, so amazing, go to the comments, find it in the comments, and then it's in the comments. And then our friend sees this and goes, oh, Tom and Jeff, they've talked 100 times together. This is the greatest thing ever. And so I'm going to share it. So now they share it. Now all they see is whatever image we put up there and maybe some of the caption, because now they have to click and then click. Nobody clicks and clicks. I mean, it's now that link is now buried. So the fix of putting it in the comment isn't going to help. You mentioned Stampede Social. I appreciate that. The one solution for podcasters, and this is unfortunately, and this is true for anything that you might use, this is for Stampede Social is a DM automation tool, so they can get you the link without putting the link in and create an engagement with your follower, with your fan, to get them the link and to get them to click without friction. On your personal page, the page that you set up originally, you can't do any of this cool stuff with, because it's just Meta doesn't allow it. So if you choose to put the link, you can, but it's a different ball game. So what I'm talking about is when you created that podcast page, I'm going to create a Facebook page and not a group, because I know this is all confusing. Meta ruins everything eventually. So a Facebook group, you can't do anything. They removed all abilities to do some cool stuff. But your Facebook page, like I have a Classic Conversations, which is my podcast. So I have that page, and that is attached to my Instagram, Classic Conversations Instagram. So with those, I can create campaigns. So if you're looking at my Facebook and my latest one with John Billings, bass player from the Monkees, we talk a lot about Make-A-Wish because we were part of that podcastathon, that cool charity thing for the week. So you message me, Make-A-Wish. So there's nothing, I don't put the link in the caption of the Facebook, and I just say, message me, Make-A-Wish, and then they'll get within a few seconds a link to that episode. And so that way it kind of removes it. And then, so what you really want to do is play the game. We all know our friends don't click on our podcast links anyway, but get more people to see it and then give them a really easy way to engage to get that link. So that's the key. You figure if they weren't going to engage with you, they're not going to click on the link. The benefit of getting it into the DM is once it's in their DM, they know where it is. They know who you are. And so they can go back to that anytime. It's in a very reliable and knowable place. All right, there's the strategies. So questions.
Does this create the opportunity for sort of ongoing engagement? Because once they DM you, are you going to deliver something of value back? Or it could be a coffee mug, it could be a white paper, it could be a toothbrush, it could be maybe something different. Is this the start of an ongoing, if not dialogue, engagement with this listener?
Yeah, because the reason they're engaged, the reason someone would type in make a wish is because they want to listen to that episode. I'm going to send them back. Right now I'm using Metricool and I have their smart link. So they get a link back and then they can watch it on YouTube. They can go to my webpage and pick their podcast platform, or they can jump to Spotify or Apple and make it real easy for them. Or they can go to the Make-A-Wish. In this particular example, they can also go to the Make-A-Wish Foundation page because that's so integral to the charity week. Yeah, so that's the value. They've asked for the value, I immediately return the value. Once they're in my DM, yeah, I can ask them, "Hey, how'd you like it?" You know what I mean? "Hey, if you like that one, I talked to John last year, you might like this episode also," that kind of thing. And the idea then is you're starting a relationship with them because they're in the DMs. A lot of what we do on social that feels kind of empty and alone is we don't have that connection. How many people, yeah, I joked earlier, our friends don't click on the links. We don't really know because they also don't comment. And so if some do, you know what I mean? And you don't know how many people are just randomly clicking on something that you put in your post. And so this way you kind of have an understanding of who is engaging with you, who your really engaged fans are. I define real fans. I encourage everyone to make the number of comments to be your KPI. Like, how many times can I get someone to DM me or comment on one of my posts? And then use that as a way to think about what I'm asking them for or to do. And again, it doesn't have to be to get an automation. It doesn't have to always be, "Hey, I got something. Let me send you something." It could just be a conversation, right? If we're talking about podcasting, could just be, "What do you think the right length of a podcast is?" Or Tom, we were talking earlier, go, "Hey guys, what are your real views on whether you're going to switch to video or not?" And to start a conversation. Once people are starting those conversations, they're much more engaged fan. So then when you do say, "Hey, here's a really cool episode," they go, "I got to check that out." And they'll engage with you that way too. So it's sort of a balance. I think Gary Vee had a book, Jab Punch or something like that. That's the whole idea. It's give and then ask.
Jeff, let me ask you about a term or concept I call staleness. And what I mean by that is the give away, the thing of value, the place you send people. In my experience, you have to routinely, on some basis, change that, meaning you can't have one coffee mug for 3 months. You can't have one white paper for 3 months. You can't have one link to make a wish for 3 months. People really want something new and different if they're going to engage with you. Do you have any idea on maybe the length of time you've seen something be an effective giveaway or something of value, or is it more ad hoc than that?
As podcasters, we have built in updated information. I feel like I get an email from you every 15 minutes, right? So there's always some link to Tom Fox, something going on. But as podcasters, most of us do say once a week at least. So when I put out a new call to action, it's for a completely different interview, right? The idea, my always hope is that they'll listen to that one and then be drawn to go, "This one was awesome. The other ones must be awesome also." But we as podcasters have that built in. If you're doing a giveaway or something like that, yeah, a week is a good amount of time. before you change it up. But sometimes if you give away the monthly coffee mugs, if you got a coffee mug, people, there's certain things people love, you know what I mean? So it depends also, you can balance if you have an idea how many people are engaging with you on a given basis. If you only have 100 people engaging with you and you're already giving 50 of them coffee mugs, it's time to move on. If you have a really cool coffee mug and you have 10,000 people as followers and you're only giving away 5 a month, then you're probably still going to get some interaction. But the thing is, when you do a giveaway, the idea there is you're really trying to get their information, right? So one of the things beyond just doing like a post level giveaway is get them to a registration form, right? And then get their email address and maybe some other PII, personal identifiable information, first name, last name. Maybe ask them a couple marketing questions. If you're targeting podcasters, how often do you do release episodes? What is blah, blah, blah. And then change it up that way. You can kind of understand then, you know, what it is. If you're bored with it, they're bored with it. Let's put it that way. It's always a good indicator.
Yeah, that is the greatest line. If you're bored with it, they're bored with it. Anything new on the horizon for Stampede Social that you might be able to preview or tease us about a little bit that may be coming out in Q2 or Q3 of 2025?
Yeah, we're looking to build out kind of a couple holistic things. Is one is we're looking to do a Facebook group. Like, yeah, you need another Facebook group, but more just to have a little community around it so people can ask questions more freely and feel like get some stuff there and then provide value that way. We're taking a lot of the data that we collect and visualizing it more so that it's helpful for people to understand how they're doing and how that kind of stuff. We're starting to work with larger networks or to kind of engage that way as well to kind of grow. But in terms of features, we're always kind of it's always like little things here and there just to make everyone's life easier, kind of just improve the things that we have to be able to support the creators and the podcasters that we have. But
Jeff, we're coming into a little bit of a new podcast conference season. We've got Podcast Evolutions in Chicago, end of March, 1st of April. Then we have Podcast Movement, 10-year anniversary in Dallas in August. Are there any conferences that you plan on attending that people might be able to catch up with you?
it's possible that I'll be at Evolutions, but I do like Dallas as well, so I might swing by that one as well. It just depends on my schedule. It seems like all these things all fall at the same time. There's always a million places to go. Right now, I tentatively might head to Evolutions. Depends if I can secure a few meetings or not.
Yeah, Chicago in March, snow and rain. Dallas in August, nothing but heat. It's a great gig. Jeff, thanks again for putting that email out. That popped with me. And you wrote a great piece as well that you linked to in your email, hyperlink noted. So we're going to link
I'm
to
just excited someone reads the email. You never know. You know what I mean? It's
You had a pretty stunning opening. You did not bury the lead. But 97% of Facebook users do something. You better figure out what they're doing. Anyway, thanks for doing that. And thanks for taking the time to come on and visit with me.
I'll visit with you anytime. You're awesome. Thank you.